Trump obviously was terrified of the stock market reacting to tariffs, and that's why he's making his tariff announcement at 4:01 today.
Although there was a brief tick up in the stock market that had been crashing after that Politico article. We don't know if it's causal, saying that Musk might be leaving the administration soon. So they're manipulating the stock market.
Well, they're trying to sort of like cushion the blow.
Yeah.
And look, without going too deeply into the tariff stuff, tariffs can be good, can be a good tool if you are trying to enhance the viability or build the viability of a specific or several specific industries in your country. And you can say, we're trying to, rebuild our watchmaking industry in America. Right. I don't know why you would do that, but let's just say you wanted to do that. Because it has, probably we would do it because it would have, military benefits, but whatever. Less cynically, we're trying to rebuild our watchmaking industry in this country. And therefore, we're going to place tariffs on watches that come in from Japan and China and maybe a small one on Switzerland. Because we want to create a specific type of watch industry. Maybe we want one that's like widely adopted. Watches wouldn't be the thing you would do, but that's what you would do.
Right, when they're targeted.
When they're targeted, and it would build up that industry. But when you do it as a blanket thing, it just becomes a tax. And here's the irony of it. They keep saying that it's going to both bring in a tremendous amount of revenue, $600 billion a year. Well, if it does that, that means that people are buying the products despite the price increase, and therefore it's not going to build the U.S. industry that you want. Or people can't afford it because it's more expensive, and then it creates inflationary pressure from the companies in America that are selling this because suddenly they don't have the same competition.
And that's almost the better case scenario than the broad application of tariffs that would just be a compounding regressive tax on middle and working families. And it would still be that in those instances. It just would be successful, which is hard to envision that would be the case. It's
like either way, they want their cake and eat it too. And they know, and this is the funny part, I don't even think that there's many people in the administration that actually want this to happen.
No.
And they keep thinking that they can convince Trump not to do it. And why is Trump doing it? God knows. Some people speculate. Emma's convinced that he just has these fantasies of being McKinley.
I think he read Carl Rose McKinley book, and the
idea that he read anything seems absolutely impossible.
Or he heard it digested from Stephen Miller, but the idea that he was it was around the assassination attempt. McKinley was the victim of an assassination, gave it all away to the robber barons, concentrated wealth.
I think it could have been just like
tariffs.
Somebody had to. You're like McKinley. What did McKinley do? Oh, he was known for tariffs. Okay.
Yeah.
That's
but the imperialism he's obsessed with is McKinley.
That's it. It's the impact it has on world leaders when he starts talking about it.
Well, this is the thing. Yeah. That Ryan Zinke, who was in the last administration, no great shakes himself. I think he had to leave in scandal. He says Trump likes it because he can do it. It's something that he can do unilaterally, and it has so much impact. Honestly, even if you weren't as demented as Donald Trump, and you're like, I can say something tomorrow, and the entire world will react. Literally the entire world. Everybody in my party, everybody in the other party, everybody in every country, and this and that. And then, I can keep doing it and make people do things for me.
It's a power trip.
The power trip.
And he also thinks it's a negotiating tactic with other countries where he can shake them down.
He's trying to get from Canada, but
I know.
All that said,
supplicants.
What's left is everybody around him in concentric circles. Said it right? Including people in the administration, and then even wider, right? The people in the administration, the Republican operatives, then Republican media people. They all have to sort of backfill and sort of soften the blow
Right.
for this thing that they all know is wrong. And look how much they're tripping over themselves doing this. Here is, what's her face?
Harris Faulkner.
Harris Faulkner. And ladies and gentlemen, I hope you know this is war. And it just so happens you're the chum.
Oh.
And those 401k people who are depending, those retirees, all of that, just talking plain speak with them. Look, when this nation used to go to war, people in this country would support the war effort with their materials at home and making things for weaponry and all of that. We got to do 100% buy-in over this bumpy period. Just communicate.
Kaylee.
And those
Yeah, just communicate with those people with the 401ks. Now, I will say this. The people of the 401ks are the lucky ones because the vast majority of people have been offered 401ks, and you can Google this, the failed experiment of the 401ks. They haven't been saving money in the 401ks because they don't have enough money to save. Or they've borrowed against their 401ks. And so the remaining people who have actually been able to fund 401ks, if you're retiring now, guess what? You are SOL because we all have to tighten our belts because Donald Trump's insane.
Because he says so. Like, who are we at war with? We're at war with Donald Trump's mental illness. But, like, other than that, I'm not necessarily sure. Right? The migrants.
Have you seen that meme where it's like, I let my intrusive thoughts win, and it's like somebody like before and after, and they do something stupid, like stick their finger in a fan?
Yeah.
Like, the tariffs thing is sort of intrusive thoughts for a president, typically, and Trump just operates entirely on intrusive thoughts.
He also just doesn't fundamentally understand how government should function or why it functions. So he thinks he's running it like a business. That's gotten into his head. And he thinks that he can shake down our allies for an additional revenue stream. It's kind of unclear. But like, I thought he was the anti-war guy. I thought he was consistently in polling, foreign policy, probably just by default, because Biden and, Harris didn't distance herself from him. They've been funding a genocide, or I would say we're looking at like a Holocaust right now.
They've been trying to be the Pentagon party for a decade now.
Right. I mean, so he was winning that by default, but now we are at war apparently with an unknown enemy.
We've
and
been
that's
invaded
why,
by migrants.
because we're at war with the enemy in Donald Trump's mind, or his mind is kind of the enemy, frankly. Everyone has to have a shared sacrifice. I mean, that
Shared. How shared is it?
yeah. How shared is it? Because
a little disturbance,
yeah, disturbance.
but we're okay with that.
This is the same administration
much.
that wants to cut SNAP benefits, which during recessions, like Faulkner is implying we're going to see, is an automatic stabilizer keeping people out of poverty.
Hey, folks, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and check out our daily show. We do it every day at 12 p.m. Eastern for about 2.5 hours. We even take phone calls. You should check that out.